Inside the program this morning, we get Ibrahim Abba, Director of Economic Regulation na EWRC. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Radio Democracy.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Firstly, start for tell listeners, waiting so far don't they happen at the Commission in terms of activity?
Well, the Commission, as you make reference, just now see, we've been done create them since 2011 through an act of Parliament, and we've done do boku work since that time. Although we actually really start work effectively around 2015, 2016. But since then, we don't do a lot, plenty work. The main responsibility of the Commission therefore regulate, first of all, the access to the market, I mean electricity market or the water market. And how would they do that? Would they do that by issuing licenses? So if any entity want to establish in that space, they never apply to the Commission for license. Then secondly, would they regulate the tariff for both the water utility and the electricity utility. They no go sell electricity or water to the public without, first of all, seeking approval from the Commission. And also, the other major activity would monitor them players there and make sure they then conform and then comply with the regulations they will develop. So these are the three core roles they would play in the sectors.
So as you don't say and break them down on a key mandate, start for give more insight to we listen and view them on the first way we talk about issues of licensing in the market space.
Well, as I say, we'll get a license. First of all, if you want to enter then the areas and you go come see the Commission first of all.
What you mean area? What did you talk about?
Electricity and water.
So now as a low break and now talk about the issues of licensing in the market space.
Yes. Now I try for breakdown so.
Okay.
So you can at the Commission, you can express your interest. For say you want to set up either maybe a generation company or maybe a water company. Then we'll go explain to you what are the process. We'll get the application, we'll go give you, we'll get on our website, and also we can give you a hard copy at the office. Fill out the application, and also then we'll get to go through certain processes. Once you present your application, we'll go review and make sure say it is in line with what you look for. We could do due diligence, make sure say the company we have established, a good company, very well respected. Then at the end of the day, if we have to decide, we'll go consult the public before we approve them. Then we'll go issue, then we'll pay a license fee. Then we'll issue the license and then get the terms and conditions of the license. But we make sure for say, then even though we don't get any license, they for meet these conditions, so we don't stipulate. If they not comply, then we'll get several options then.
In line with consulting the public, how can do them? In which way exactly?
Well, this is not one way. Like what they also, would they engage the public? Would they come disseminate the information? Like for instance, we EDSA don't apply for tariff. So this is not one way. Would they go to different radio stations? Then would they put the information newspapers? Would they gazette them? They would actually hold like a town hall meeting. So would they directly engage the public and explain to them what's in that situation now? Whether EDSA the proposed tariff. Would they get that kind of gathering? Also, would they give EDSA the opportunity for kind of explain to them what are the reasons, what are the justification for, like, for instance, the proposed tariff.
Right.
So that way, now we can get different ways where they engage the public.
Before we look at the tariff, you talk about licensing. Which are the criteria where somebody for meet before I issue out a license to them?
Well, as I say, it depends on whether now
in terms of water.
Okay, in terms of water, public utility or water companies. Water companies, first of all, when they come, they express the interest, they want they want license. We they get in the forms, where they go fill them out. They first of all go through different stages. The water, they get for test them first, taken to the consult standards bureau. And we also get testing entity within the Ministry of Water Resources. So either way they want to go work. So they need to get a certificate from their institution. They for say the water where they want to produce and maybe sell to the public, it meets certain standards. So once they don't go through that, then they get to go to the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health also get to go check the facility, make sure say the facility meets the conditions the way they don't stipulate. Like for instance, for the near toilet, if you get certain water, the toilet facility within the facility, not for the in a certain way, we don't go contaminate the water, for instance. So Ministry of Health get their own condition within the set. So the factory directorate also you give a consult them, make sure for they will go look at the place and ensure that the factory meet their own standards. So once you don't get all the 3 certifications there, so then you come back to the commission, the producer certificate there, the WUSEF go send out with monitoring team at the location for go examine them and review and make sure for say yes, within that the certificate it conform to the reality on the ground. Then in that case, then we can issue the license.
In line to the reality of the ground, where you end with, so many people go to wonder if they talk so say na the procedure we people for follow for open water company. If na really that procedure they make sure say all the one don't get water company in this country don't go through.
Well, yeah, before we issue license, you do go through that process there.
But I still not say people in the way get company outside the way they open away not hygienic.
Yes, but that's already the monitoring coming.
And what I can do? We well, already flout the law because before you open the company, if I don't know say you know for come na this kind of environment or community. But yes, still on allow it go open then now that you know the monitor with the mistake they already make.
No, before we open now, we make sure for say they meet them. We don't issue license. We don't meet any of them criteria.
So now I actually say all companies in this country, according to you, don't meet any criteria.
The one they will don't issue license to, because we understand that some day they will operate on the ground. But now they be enforcement division coming with the get. You know, some of them are very difficult for trees, but they get information from the public. Whenever they see water company will not meet standards or something, the taste of the water or the smell of the water, they can bring it to their attention. And in that case, now we can send we monitoring team for go try to locate then company. Yeah, we don't close some. I don't know if I'm talking recently.
Okay. So the main part of our work we get for the regulatory, it means for control, maintain the rate of a speed of a machine or process. When I really get the power where to take for really, like for example, if a company say we want to increase tariff based on this, if we see say not in the interest of the consumer, fellow na maintain say no, we need agree, when I get that power the full.
Yes, we get the power because tariff especially. Because they never can do we first before they
yeah, then go through an object, an objection stand for say no.
Well, you see, the role of the commission not to just for the consumer, we also seek the interest of the producer or the business, because we want to make sure for say the business able to operate and the consumer himself get good quality water at a price way affordable. So we can reject, but we get for take into account the justification where they don't give, and we say for the make sure say then justification yeah. They're actually not true. Like if they come, for instance, say, well, the cost of the water don't go, because most of them, they buy the water from Guma Valley. If they say, okay, the cost of the water don't go up, that's a fact. We're not going to say, okay, well, we're not going to on the increase. Maybe the degree of increase, we're not going to agree to that because maybe we could think, say, it is way much more than the cost, we don't go up. So yes, we get right for reject, but at the same time, we get for check within the justification, and make sure we do a scientific analysis, which depends on data, before we make sure either we approve or disapprove. Or even if we approve, it not necessarily means it could be the exact amount where they can ask for. We will calibrate up and make sure customers themselves they understand and pay maybe small more and get a good quality product.
We understand water company they don't propose to say then say for ad.
Yes, we received an application recently. Sometime in August.
So it's not the content of that proposal there?
Well, then they asked for 10,000 euros per bundle. So we don't acknowledge the application. We don't ask because normally they just apply no more. Then we approve. You can probably get supporting information, data. So don't write to them back. But say okay, when I provide the data, we don't send them with template. So then they work on that. So no hear back from the heat.
So they ask or they already some of they don't take decision because when they go buy water anytime I shop them now 10,000 and 1,000 for one sachet.
Well, we done come to our attention recently. But anybody where they sell the water above the price we don't approve the last time last year, I think, then they do so illegally.
So because we not approve it. If you not get the power for insurance, let people go engage with you now. Let them not go ahead and do things. Now you say they don't engage with another water company. But yet still some don't go ahead and take their own self-decision without a full consultation. Water now 10,000 for bundle, sachet now 1,000 for one.
Well, as I said, That they don't come to my attention. So they issue a public notice now for lay all the people who they sell water above the price what we don't approve. Anybody who they do so illegal. For catch them, they will pay a fine, or in the last resort we give and close them down.
Right.
So then they don't come to a notice. They issue a public notice. They will try to engage the water union because they make the application on the behalf of the members. So we engaged them yesterday, and we make sure say all the ones who they sell the water above the price we approve, they will bring a canon back.
All right. You mentioned say before we approve for any increase of tariff, whether on electricity or water, una need supporting information or data. With other information than they look for.
Basically, the cost. How much it cost them for produce a bundle of water. So we get cost information, like the materials that we use for packaging, like the outer plastic, even the small plastic when they put the water. All the information, how much staff they get, the cost of the machine, the cost of maintaining and operating the machine. If they get vehicles, the cost of operating the vehicles and they maintain them. So the cost, all the cost, we entail for run the business, for produce the water on an annual basis. That way they will be able to determine. Once we don't establish the cost, we estimate almost water they produce over a year period. They're able to estimate what is the cost of the water. But I want to bring to our attention for say the cost it vary from producer to producer. The cost of producing the water it vary from because we get so many of them companies there. So it is a real challenge for issue just one price we could fit everybody. So I make normally we can give them a range. So okay, on a logo charge more than a particular amount to get a ceiling. So depending on the cost structure, they go charge, but what do they ensure to make sure that the price don't go above the ceiling?
Okay. Now, as you mentioned, say before, una approve the tariff, una need information wherein na then cost way then they spend. So una get system in place where they don't tell una some of them, cost then they follow una self go check for know if na the real thing that they can tell una.
Yes, because recently we engaged the package material producers because they also under regulation. So don't get an understanding with them for say any company will not get with license, they will not issue any plastic material for that person. So they're not going to sell material to person because they work together and then get a list of the companies them that they own database. So if any company come for car set up without they not get license, you can go there for go buy the material, and they check against the license day, and they can call, if it's not ready, they can call we. Then we go tell us, okay, this person, it don't apply, it in process. But if the person not apply it and not in our database, with the advice and strictly not sell any packaged material to them. So this is one of the ways in this working, try to verify the information that we can bring up.
Mr. Abba, how much are they on top of situation in terms of a mandate? When I get a data where they show how much water company they register with now?
Yes, we get a database. It's dynamic because the license what they issue now on a yearly basis. With the year done, some people can carry new back, some not can come, some not can renew again, some can go out of business. So as the time they approach, we can issue letters and for reminders the license expire.
So as at now, wait on a data they show for the one they will registered with now way they operate effectively as in water company them in the country.
I don't get that information they offered right now, but it could be over 100 companies.
Over 100?
Yes.
That the one they are conscious of way legal?
Yes.
Okay, my colleague will ask you about the water company name for get a proposal for increase water. We already, some don't go ahead and take decision and increase them. You said before not taking any decision and you do consultation with the public. In line with the water company name, where we go propose to una say they want increase water based on the reason we then give. What not be the means of engaging the public? We wanna do.
No,
and talk about this one way they do now.
No, not do that. As I say, we don't receive the application. We don't acknowledge them. And we don't write back to them, but let them send with the supporting document, the supporting data for support this tariff in the way they want.
How serious then company ya take una for let somebody don't meet una and get a proposal? Yes, una not get the answer, but yet still, majority of them don't go ahead and take their own decision. The proposal they make to una no approve it, but now water now 10,000 for bundle, sachets now 1,000. I make a ask how serious they really take una for say now una get the power for him for approve them proposal way they make due to dialogue among una in them.
No, I feel they take me seriously because we deal directly with the with the producers, then the one where they produce. You know, for the retailers, then a different issue. The retailers, and then they are quite a lot. So it is difficult for monitor the prices and where they go on throughout the country. But as far as the price that the factory, that they would really focus on, the price at which retailers them or the middleman and to go buy water for go reseller. So we don't engage, we didn't engage the union right now. So the union will get an understanding. Then they try for police their members. We get an understanding there between we. But if they're not doing effectively or to be expectation, that's I say we don't issue a public notice. We write that but don't in the newspaper.
So you think that decision they go in any way will be reversed for Leone water company and they go back to 7 or 8
Yes, it will be reversed. Yes, it will be reversed. It is. Yeah, we don't issue public notice and they would threaten them with fines and closure. We don't do that in the past.
All right. So the license one of the give to them people there, waiting at the time frame of the license there.
For the water company, then 1 year, which is renewable every year.
Right. So we then can come again. Una get any system for una monitor if waiting una tell them for do nine then do before una renew the license.
Oh yes, just that the compliance. We get a compliance division. That didn't come in. So before, if you come for renew the license, of course, we'll go back and make sure that all the information we get before, una still meet their requirement in the. Una still get the certificate from the Minister of Health, Standards Bureau, and Factory Inspectorate.
Okay. So
we'll go make sure say they want it still hold before we reissue the license.
Come to the issue of on our main mandates. We continue for discussion now. You talk about tariff. When they do engagement with then different company there. But another thing we don't catch the attention of via them. Now the content and service where people they give. For example, the one way they produce water, sachet water. How do they ensure they regulate the size of the sachet of water? Because now, even though you say the commission no great on the proposal where the water company don't go with toner for, majority of them don't go ahead and increase water now. Now na 10,000 for bundle and sachet, now 1,000. Apart from regulating the tariff, how do they ensure they regulate or monitor the service and quality of what they give out to the public?
Well, I think I will not mention during my initial introduction the quality of the. First of all, okay, the packaging. The packaging will be the last tariff will be approved. The packet for be 500 milliliter. 500 milliliter. Now for be the size of one packet, and the bundle now 20 units for the inside. For that tariff, they will be approved. And we don't engage for make sure say all man produce that same kind of size day. We don't engage the people who sell the material here. And then don't agree say then we make sure say the package where they sell it will be the size of 500 milliliter. So then again at we can monitor. If we find out for say the size no reach, then we can contact the one the way seller.
Yes, but people go they wonder, when I get work, but what you go say about the strength of our workforce? I believe on I get legal department also. What you go say about the strength? Because from which you do attest now, some of them people want to deal with is provider they really hard for deal with. I go assess the strength of the regulation in terms of enforcing the law. When I give fine to a company, it really pay the fines.
Well, as I think I've been saying earlier, the size of the institution are relatively small and relatively new because of start operation 2016. Our size is about maybe 32 individuals. And the compliance and enforcement division is maybe I would say less than 10. So we're handicapped in that sense because we get the size, the manpower we need for actually carry out effective enforcement. It's really a challenging environment.
Well, yet I get a lot of mandate for handle, and these are things that people that they use and need every day. When you talk about water and light.
Yes, the work we do, especially with company enforcement, not on the commission no more. We get Standards Bureau as well because they carry out the testing of the water. They're supposed to be testing water there also, on a regular basis. Because somebody can bring water, now we test and we pass. Maybe in the next 3 months, 6 months, service quality don't deteriorate. And maybe you test them back again, no go pass. So they work in collaboration with their institution there also to make sure say the quality when they bring come initially, that quality is maintained throughout the process.
Now, most of the water company, Mr. Ba, then taste skin different. Sometimes then the ink, the way then they print the message or the name na the water, we put on a mouth, it get different taste. So Standards Bureau can go and report again for telling us say them particular company there, don't begin go against some of the laws them wanna tell them.
Well, in that case, that particular case, Denmark will not come to your attention. That the one the way they print, where they produce the material, we will then engage on that as well. I think that the quality of the ink, not been good. But we don't engage on that. I don't know if it's still the go on, but we don't engage there on that, and we don't make sure they take steps for correct that issue.
So as at now, we didn't studio here, so the public really need for know what the approved price for bundle water.
The approved the price, the last one will be approved at the factory. 5,000 euros. Somebody will go buy them at 5,000. For past 5,000. They get him middleman, and the one that will go buy them, the one that with the transporter there, then him sell them at 5,500.
Then of course, yeah, exactly.
That's in the last year.
So because I realize even before we reach this stage, we water company don't decide for sell water by bundle 10,000. If we don't go 7,000-8,000. So it kind of surprising for ladies, 5,000 or 6,000.
No, the retail side, Andy. I talk about the factory level.
Okay, from the factory level to the one where they inside them, van them and all. Waiting at the exact
price.
Well,
the recommended price, 6 to 7 at the range, Andy. So in other words, anybody with a seller above that price, they do it illegally. So everybody for revert back to the price will be approved last year. Until we process this one, nobody knows for seller above 7,000.
All right. So apart from Freetown, we same also get water company in them now the provinces. How una don't they work for say una monitor them particular company them back again?
Well, we get I would say small branches now the main district headquarter towns. Makeni, Abo, Kenema, we get representatives in the winner and they carry out the enforcement regulations that impact in the. But as I say, the office here is small, we don't get more than 2 staff in the. So regulating and monitor them a challenge. But would they do what we able to do?
All right. So let's look at company the way they produce bottled water. Waiting again on the look at before they issue out a license to them because then they produce a large quantity.
Well, the bottled water, we don't regulate price for bottled water.
No, meaning the system before they issue out license to them.
Well, as I say, you get to go through certain processes. You can get license from Standards Bureau, you get certificate from Ministry of Health, certificate from the factory directorate. You get to meet all the criteria indeed before we issue license.
All right. So what's in the law say in terms of abiding to rules and regulation them?
Well, the law is clear. Now we get the mandate. Now we regulate the quality, we get technical regulations and also get for regulate the access to the market and also the price. The law is clear. It's only EWRC that has the mandate to regulate price and quality and in the provision of services for them company, both electricity and water.
So wait now the fines owner can give if they flout.
But if they flout with regulations them, first of all we can engage them first because we not like for just issue fines, especially in the first, second non-compliance. Because we know how for put business close businesses and down. So one for getting the opportunity for correct their mistakes and their errors. Now if they continue for the flout the regulation and become non-compliant, then we can issue fines. The fines can be up to 50 million euros.
How often I don't define people then?
Well, we don't. Not much, as I say, not to the main focus that they want for, help them for them able to sustain their business. So that is the last resort.
Mr. Ba, in a mandate, for ensure say the service provider them give out service really up to the quality, even if they get enough reason for increased tariff. Also understand in exactly my point is, whether on interest when I get that of the consumer or the service provider, how genuine and transparent and rational can be within both parties here?
Well, both. The main, as I say, we are like a referee. We're in between the consumers and the producers.
But it's like the consumer them, the service provider them don't get away in doing certain things because you say do a test now and say some people already produce sachet water, don't go ahead and approve them to 10,000. We una no approve it. We una na get the full mandate for tell and say yes. We don't look into a proposal on a point him clear and understandable. We self don't agree with una for go ahead and make this price we una propose.
Well, we don't make it clear to them, but say we're not happy for this to and do so. See, in any economy, you always get for people don't always we try for flout or the authority. We try for do things for see whether they go get away with that. But we don't issue a public notice, so they warn everybody. Let the price come back down to Usaibindi. Otherwise, we go issue a serious fine, or eventually, or in the last resort, we can close them down.
This is just for let people here say you say something, or na go real minam, and people say the price of bond water reverse to which you say when 7 or 8,000.
No, not to just talk. We send people out for good monitor the situation, make sure say then comply, then bring the price come back down to Usaibindi.
Okay,
if they not do them, we will find them or close them down.
So, Mr. Ba, we see this BNTM directly from EDSA. Then seven don't confirm say there has been a proposal on electricity tariff, and they don't write a letter to UNA for say they don't give your reason where they don't state. When UNA received this proposed electricity tariff from EDSA, outside they ask for say they want for increase the electricity tariff.
Okay, yes, I can confirm say yes, EDSA don't apply. We don't receive a letter of application from them indicating say they want for adjusting tariff. So we don't start the process. We don't get all the data from them. We say they can crunch the numbers for make sure say what they ask for, the data able for support them. And as soon as we get a process we will go through. The first stage, once we get the application with the publisher and the newspapers them, and also the Gazette. So we don't do that. We invite the public for them and send a comment. So this right now we're in the comment period. We will last about two weeks. So anybody can write to me and express their opinion about the tariff, whether they agree, whether they disagree, what is the reason, whether it's justified or not. So we'll get 2 weeks. They can, the public can send a comment to EDSA in 55 Barwick Street, Freetown, Sierra Leone. They can also send them through text. They can also send them through we portal, we website. We get different avenues where they can send their opinion.
Okay.
Then after that, we engage the public them, just like we go engaging through radio discussions, through town hall meetings. They're all going to culminate at what we call a public hearing. This could be the final stage of engaging the public. We will be on the 22nd of this month, Freetown City Council Hall.
Okay.
So they will invite the major stakeholders and also the public. They go come listen to EDSA. EDSA they can do a presentation and can justify what is the reason why they want for increase or adjust the tariff.
Okay.
So that's the process in a nutshell.
All right. As you mentioned, say EDSA the rights to owner for adjust the tariff. Waiting at the last adjustment, tariff we owner do for them.
Well, the last one have been July last year.
But not the tariff.
The tariff, well, like the tariff we did by category.
You will mention that for yourself.
Yes. So with the first category, the pro-poor category, now the category we assume the people don't really get enough money for electricity. So now the tariff will be 1,400 leones per kilowatt hour. In dollar terms, that's 6 US cents. Then the next band, when the residential normal band, 2,545 leones per kilowatt hour. In dollar terms, are 11 cents. The high-end band, which are the customer that really consume electricity, then they pay 2,745 leones per kilowatt hour. In dollar terms, are 12 US cents. Then for commercial, 2,615 per kilowatt hour. Institutions, 2,400. Large customers like factories, industries, 2,925. Welders, 2,915. And street lighting, 2014. So these are the tariff we did in effect currently.
All right. Now, then tariff there we just highlight. How not on the monitor EDSA for CC the tariff actually we them propose to nine people they get, because I guess you are aware there are a lot of issues around EDSA tariff where you buy this, then go give you this. So how una don dey monitor that aspect there?
No, that I can say categorically and clearly for say the tariff will approve. Now EDSA the charge. The problem where can happen, people do not understand how then they calculate the tariff, where they go pay the money. So how the units where they get, they not can understand. Make I spend some time, make I explain that.
Go ahead.
For instance, as I said, like the proper category, the 1,400 leones for 1 unit when a 1 kilowatt hour, right? So when you let's say you care 100,000 leones, this tariff only apply for up to 25 units. 25 units. So when you pay your money, first of all, if you are the first thing I need to buy in the month, EDSA the pool service charge. The service charge is 10,500 for the residential class. So after the non-pull that money, then they pull GST. GST now 15% of what you left. The service charge is not subject to GST, but the balance money that they didn't apply the GST will have 15%. Then the balance now that they didn't buy you top up. We have 1,400 per 1 unit. So calculate that number. If you divide that amount by 1,400, it will show you how much unit you get. But if you can't buy back inside the same month, and you don't go over 25 units, then at the next category you go. You go to the 2,545 leones per kilowatt hour. So you can find out even if you give the same amount of money, you get lower number of units because the tariff don't go up. You don't go to the next class. Similarly, this class they go up to 200 units. If you can't consume again inside the same month, the price you go get now the higher tariff with 2,745. So you see that different levels or categories of tariff where EDSA they apply. So now that misunderstanding the or that understanding cost why not can give it to see EDSA they charge them or they thief them. Not the case.
All right. Well, we can look at other issues them inside this proposed increment of tariff. We'll go for a break. We'll continue the program. Good morning, Salon.
Use cement when a superior quality. Cement where they give you value for your money. Cement where they settle your wahala where you can get pan cement business. Cement where they show you the tkanganess. Usai in matter. Cement where meets international standard. And that's na Dangote 42.5R grade 3 export land limestone cement. When a good quality and best cement na the country. You know see when me building Timap Ticket and Tranga, Dangote 42.5R grade cement na the highest grade pan cement where you know the fair no side for buying na the country. No say you deserve the best quality grade cement. Where then test and confirm say na the best. No make them tell you. No settle for less. Buy Dangote 42.5R grade cement for pull yourself pan kotat, losses and wahala. Dangote 42.5R grade cement na the best among the rest. Baby, you don't hear the other samba where GT Bank get for we?
Wow! Now wetin GT Bank get for we?
Na GT Bank no more can do am. You know Yegi say GT Bank they give free airtime or data? Just listen to this. Anytime where you go collect money, whether and send for you via money or even MoneyGram service, now any of the GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank they give you free airtime or data. It tell like you know Yegi good. I say anytime where you go collect money, whether and send for you via money or even MoneyGram service, now any GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank they give you free airtime or data. Me self no go left behind. I they go collect me money one time where they send for me through real money service and Sally Ion where they send through MoneyGram service for make we self enjoy the free airtime or data where GT Bank they give. GT Bank, it go better you bank with we.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. We will bring this edition come to you this Wednesday morning. Main asap to you, Kalon.
And my name Usman Kamara.
Today inside the program, we talk to somebody we come out from the CLO Electricity and Water Regulatory, Water Regulatory Commission. We don't talk about how they don't do their work, especially how they regulate water company and other service provider them where they provide lights. And we still get at the studio Brahma Ba, Director Economic Regulation. So Mr. Ba, you be the two highlights on the strategy or waiting EDSA can look at, and you be the give a breakdown on the things that we get for do with tariff and the unit cost. You can go ahead and end that party, particularly we be the make.
Well, I don't get the different tariff we customer in the pay currently.
Okay.
So and this now last year July now going into effect, and this same tariff now not in effect up till now. And because of the depreciation of the currency, the value of this tariff in dollar terms, it don't go down, it don't reduce. The total will be approved and the average will be 16 cents. But effectively now, because of the depreciation of the currency or the Leone vis-a-vis the dollar, the effective average now 11 US cents. But EDSA still the charge in Leone terms the same amount.
So that is in the EDSA states and then propose something when the states donor on the electricity tariff for the one increase.
Yes.
Now that are the tangible reason.
One of the reasons and I want to adjust them back.
Adjust or increase?
Well, from their own perspective, the adjustment, because they want to make it reflect what are the current exchange rate.
And to the public, how you go call them?
To the public, obviously, it could be an increase because they then go pay more than what they pay now in Leone terms.
When are the other tangible reason again when they state in the proposal?
Well, at the cost of the energy when they buy. Then they buy energy from IPPs, from EGTC, from Car Power, from Serengeti, from C&E Energies, from Cote d'Ivoire, where they use the CLSG line. So they buy power from all the one in the, and the price at which they buy $9 a day in dollar terms. But then they charge in leones. So if they want in they collect from the tariff, now leones and they depreciate, so you go get a gap. So that gap then now the government they fill in, because government is subsidize the energy sector about in the tune of $50 million. Last year about $50 million.
Right.
And this year they projected for subsidize again in the same around the same amount.
All right. Now you mentioned say the average now something like 11, but we understand say EDSA they propose for 23. Confirm that for real through about that.
Well, yes, then they propose 23 because currently that 11 cent day not to tariff with cost reflective. In other words, that tariff they're not enough for cover all the costs, for buy them energy, for pay them staff, for maintain the distribution network, all that. So what this tariff, that tariff way not get subsidy. So basically what in EDSA want for do, they want for able for operate in such a way where they don't go depend on government for subsidy. So according to them, the tariff proposal they don't make, this will cover all the costs, so they don't go need government subsidy at all.
But as you mentioned, say they don't need government subsidy. So the
At this
burden
tariff.
at this tariff.
At this proposed tariff.
So the burden all go back to the public.
Well, that they propose. They
So-
say this could cover the cost without subsidy.
All right.
So
So,
we want to do analysis. We start from the subsidy government again now, with about 51 million. So at that level of subsidy, what will be the tariff? Then we will reduce them gradually. See what will be the corresponding tariff at each level of subsidy.
all right.
But this proposal, we then give you so that proposal for cover the cost without subsidy.
So at this time, from the commission in Angle, on I think say it day in place for the EDSA, shift all the let's say burden to the ordinary people in terms of increment of tariff.
Well, we're in the process. We are crunching the numbers. We are looking at different scenarios. So it's within the process. When we're done, we don't hear it from the public. We don't take the comment into consideration. Then we go make a recommendation.
So in any way, people would wonder if a decision we get for stand, if it's really necessary for Leone consult the public, because he asks anybody and obviously to say I not support this proposed tariff increment from EDSA.
Yes, nobody know how to pay higher price.
So why
They are
you
all
go to the
consumers.
public way waiting and get for say not get for stand or reflect in the decision
No,
at the end of the day?
We go take their account. We go take their opinion into account. We always do. So now make us say this type proposal. So after we don't we self don't do the calculation, we don't engage the public, we don't read the opinion. We go try for come up with something. We're not referee, not all man go glad. For any decision we recommend or approve, all man go vex. EDSA no go glad because until we go reduce them, the customer accept they no go glad because until we go EDSA up small. But that's usually the case.
So my colleague will ask you on the increment in terms of the amount. You said there is 2 on the board, 20 and 11. I mean 23 and 11, right?
11 are the effective rate now, average. Okay. Effective rate. In other words, what would they pay now in Leones, what are the equivalent in the current Leone dollar
so
exchange.
So what's the own proposal?
23 cents average.
23 cents average.
Another morning again, I say, the money, I say, no money, no money. I say, the door by day. You see, that institution, we may be believed by now, blessing for the floating money, because from all the ministry, departments, and agency them, na acceleration na then get pastor. So maybe they see and say, God in flow for day. But oh yeah, na the name na dirty na treat first all man. I see no day. Call for me school. Man no dey go on time and they come all day below time. I said the thing them boku. Now they ask me stuff say, why we not go put person when you to man of God bo? Nine then say how Chief Minister they go to Rami and Chief Minister then go on. Now tell the Chief Minister no go bo. I say I get that Monday in all in report card them from start to finish. Usai the Monday day, usai they go work, when they go and when they come out bo. I say we are moving and I say bo. I say green belt green belt. I say this Takogama place. I say some man don't begin make it go red belt, man. It go red belt. I say now, the institution, the way they per land business. I say the kuku per land and just they push the green belt. They push go outside the baboon and day. But me, we know the one people them wo. Una continue. Una just they push to una reach to the babu them. Una just they push no more till una reach to the babu them. At least that 10 day told me to make concern. Una and the babu them go along. Ask them people the way Bundo come up on a net. I mean the 2017. I say Bruno beat some man. No hospital end up wake up. So, una continue for the building. The babu them, when them protest, it was left to unu. Where move yonder, I say, boys at school, I say, you dirty. Whoa, I remember those days when they say, posting go boys high school. Nakatu the kakan man, nakatu the kakan. For so you say, you na Methodist boys high school you attend. I say, now we some man that don't take power. I say some man not care about school again himself, you know what I know. I say if you see boys high school dirty, I say if you see the deaths them, now they say, now so no bring names of the people that would them go boys high school now, where they in authority. I say where them give me name. Now say what? With all their names, yeah. Now say bo, I no go call some man name because some man in name and the school. Some man now he was fine past the school. Look like me good friend. Me na the honorable Akabod.
The program Good Morning Salon continues. Still inside the studios, we get Brahim Abba in the director of one of the director them the Electricity and Water Regulation Commission as they have for talk about water company and self EDSA them propose increment of tariff where they don't send to them. Now before we go for that break, you made a mention about when I get for engage people forget their own view. Now, if the people in view, more concern raised about EDSA tariff, what one can do in that aspect?
Well, as I say, we can take the opinion because even the act compel we for engage the public and give them a chance for lay people and read their own views. Usually, we can take into account their views because they are the people and the one that will pay the tariff. But at the same time, we therefore make sure say the producer or the utility instead of being in a situation where it could be sustainable, because we don't want where the producer or the utility to complain to be say the tariff not enough for them to cover their cost, they not enough for them purchase the energy. They will not look into that. They eventually the company collapse. That then they be all done suffer. So as a referee, we be between consumers and the utility. We try for strike a balance where customers don't go hot too much, EDSA back no go hot too much. So we try for work at that line day.
Okay. Now value for money very important. Concern of people now that you do get stop up now your meter. Lights not the day. Even if lights day, you're not able to put some certain appliance system on. What you want to do in that relation day for make people begin feel the money or begin get waiting that they buy for?
Well, these are some of the issues. These are technical issues regarding the electricity where EDSA produce. We don't engage them. They continue to engage them about that. They don't get some investment for try for improve on the network because the network is under the challenge. Some of the cables and don't hold. Some of the distribution wire them don't obsolete. So they don't get some grant where they don't replace a lot of the cables, but an ongoing process. But we hope say eventually the network will reach a level where you could be very stable, where customers don't be able to forget the light at a very steady voltage. Because that voltage is a big issue. Customers don't complain about that. And we continuously to talk to EDSA. EDSA back, to be honest, they do their best for try to replace their network here. Okay. So the ongoing process.
Mr. Abba, in this dialogue we're going to do with EDSA on the proposed reason where they don't give or increase the tariff, in whose stand we going to take? Is that of the consumer or the service provider? I want to try for being rational. Though you state say they don't give tangible reason, but again, you have to look on the other side also of the consumer. Them and look at how the economy is right now in the country.
Yes, yes, I don't see the customers and now one of we interest. So we have to make sure say the tariff it could be affordable. So they really average 11 cents or average 23 cents. Not all man get to pay 23 cents. Like for instance, even the proposal for the pro category, it will go from 6 cents to 9 cents. So which is probably about 50%. So we will make sure for say we try for structure the tariff in such a way that we get cross subsidization. In other words, within the band them, the group of it is able to afford more, maybe go pay a little bit more.
So this proposal 23 cents and for which category exactly?
These are average.
Okay.
These are average. So it means say some go pay more, some go pay less.
What in the other category then state in the proposal?
But the category where them in different proposal in dollar terms, what they propose are 9 cents, 26 cents, 25 cents, 24 cents, 23 cents, 19 cents. So these are what in the proposal. But we go look at now and see if it's actually justifiable. If not, we will revise and down and also break down the tariff per category.
All right, somebody on our Facebook page they ask say, is it necessary for lawyer EDSA increase tariff we we know how the country they go.
Well, then don't give it the justification. Me no go say it necessary or not necessary. Me not referee. Then don't give it the reason why I make the one increase the tariff. And we say we go listen back to the public. If we have to say it's justifiable, we go listen to that. They will go take that into account.
So from where they, take this proposal to now, stage on a day and get into the final decision.
Well, we'll reach the decision by the end of this month.
Who stage on the current
Right now,
now?
We engage the public through the discussion there, and we wait for the comments. And the comment period is 2 weeks.
How people forget access for Gideon View through which means, apart from EDSA, so whose other means again?
Yeah,
the commission they create for let people make an input.
Then they write to we, then they call we, then can text we. Yeah, the different ways there.
When are the line or when are the means of call, contact, or messages? If somebody wants to send message now for giving opinion or want make input, when are the means? As in the line, the number.
All right, Mr. Bab, before you
you don't get the number. Usman, wait, please. You don't get the contact line with somebody.
No, I don't get that off head.
So as you continue for look for the line for announcement to people for send out the comment. Any provision then at the law for Leone fine EDSA like any water company if they not go according to some of the rules and regulation of the commission?
Yes, yes. Provisions are the law for fine them. Yes, just like what I've explained earlier. They say that a similar provision we can find them up to 50 million.
Not ever find EDSA?
No, we'll never find them it.
Why? Because then they go according to una.
No, you see, as I say, fine a last resort. We they continue to engage. We be aware of some of the challenges there because we can confront them. We can have meetings with them. They can explain to me what are the issue. Then we'll try for rationalize, we'll talk to the government and try for stipulate or try for guide them how for address some of the issues there and give them timeline. A continuous engagement process.
Right.
So we're not in the business for beginning the fine right now, but we get that in our pocket, a last resort.
All right. So then challenges there are where people they say about EDSA, say for EDSA they explain you now. Any improvements done over the past year?
On EDSA and service delivery? Well, I go feel so in general because even the complaints mechanism don't improve. Because today you can get pull go for us outside, you go call, you could take several weeks. But now I think they don't improve. Now if you call, maybe within a day or two, then you don't send technicians out to go address the problem. So there has been general improvement in the service delivery of EDSA.
So as at now, wanna be the main key as in referee between EDSA and the water company name. What sort of assurance you will give people and say whatever decision I take on approving the proposal a day in the interest of the people as well, though you don't state say the service provider also need for be considered.
Well, I wanted the public to say this tariff where EDSA don't apply for now a proposal. So we review them, we crunch the numbers, we try to make sure see whatever tariff we approve, that it able for cover EDSA and cost. Because if EDSA able to cover the cost, then they're able to provide for purchase and distribute and supply to customers. Then also for the consumer them, we make sure see the tariff will go approve, the tariff we don't go and then we will afford. And we'll try as best as possible for make sure for see we structure in such a way where we will ensure cross subsidization, whereby customer they will afford more, go pay a little bit more. The one who will able to afford much will pay a little bit less.
Plenty thank you to you. I'm Ibrahim Abad, Director Economic Regulation from the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission. We will be guest inside the program. Good morning, Salon.
Thank you.